Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for my client Lewis's vlog. And for those who don't know the backstory, go back and watch number one. But we have him back on conjugate now, building him back up. And again, remember we started with the empty bar again just a few months ago. However many weeks that was, I'm not sure at this point, not off memory. But he started with the empty bar and stuff again because we've had surgery, we've had illness, we've had other things to deal with. But now he's able to train again. We have had full medical clearance to get back under heavy weights. So we did a floor press for his max effort upper this week. And I'm trimming these way down because a lot of this stuff, he's not going to have a lot of exercise variation for supplemental lifts. He has very limited equipment at the moment. And some of it I'm going to have to rotate and change around because I don't like the way he's performing them, and for some reason I can't, get the message through correctly through typing to correct these things. So I'm just going to try to do different movements. His lower body stuff, upper body stuff has all been fine. But again, we're in a situation where he doesn't have the best rack. We don't have much to deal with. He's tall and lanky, unstable bench, it's a little bit difficult to do everything that I need to do, and again, get him to set stuff up correctly. So for supplemental lifts on upper day, though, we're doing bench pressing. We can get away with some benching. He's a novice lifter. It's fine. We can do plenty of benching for volume. We do one arm dumbbell rows. He does inverted rows. And like I said, I've trimmed out a bit of this footage just to get it down, because if I put everything up that he sends me, it would be a 25-minute video. And, people aren't going to want to watch that. I don't want to talk about each individual lift for 25 minutes. So it's just to show you guys what he's doing and to document stuff. So we do some inverted rows in there also. And again, these files are slightly out of order because these are not the order that I prescribed them in. So it should be, when we look at the setup, it should be benching. Then we have one arm dumbbell rows, then inverted rows, then these laterals, and then band press downs. But I just kind of ran them through the system in the order he sent me the files. So for those curious what we're doing here, why we're doing it, well, he needs the extra upper back work. So I do have two different types of rows in the program for him at the moment. And I may space these out and put some of them on his lower body day. We might need to do that. But I do two types of rows. We do, at least one supplemental press. In his case, it's flat bench on this day, and then it's incline bench on his dynamic effort day. Right? And then, of course, I do a little shoulder work, a little tricep work. And some of the stuff I've explained to him, he is like, well, I know I need more arm work. I need more tricep work. And I'm like, no, right now you don't. You need to make everything grow, right? A lot of guys get caught up in that idea. Even when you give them arm work, they're like, well, I don't have, my arms are small, so I must need more arm work than I'm doing. It's like, well, everything is small. What are you talking about? And I mean, how comical would it look that if, you suddenly doubled the size of your biceps and triceps and everything else only grew 10%. Well, that wouldn't be proportionate either, And a lot of these younger guys, they don't look at it that way. They're just seeing, hey, there's this body part that I think is lagging, and therefore I just need to train it a lot more, without realizing that you're not big yet. Whose muscle are you looking at for comparison? Someone who has 25 more pounds of muscle than you. Well, of course that muscle is going to be bigger on them. Everything's bigger. All right, deficit deadlifts. I think he got 165 kg. Again, his plates are hard to determine what he's got on the plates because of these plate styles. But I believe that was 165 kilos for a deficit deadlift, which is what we did there. And for supplemental work on lower body, we do good mornings. And I didn't put some of his stuff up here because, again, I was a little unhappy with the performance of the footage. I'm really trying to get him to get the split squats down, but because I'm not seeing what I want to see out of him, and it could be his proportions, it could be the wobbly bench he has, we might need to do lunges, or I might even have him do some front squats. And I don't normally do that on conjugate, but, if you have a lifter who's not real advanced, they're not going to burn out on front squats. But we do good mornings. We do band pull-throughs, split squats, hanging leg raises. Again, very, very basic. It covers all of our bases. Right? It covers all of our bases. So, and here he is doing the leg raises. Now, the other 2 days, I'm not going to show as much of the supplemental footage. You're just seeing what he's doing. So, dynamic effort benching is up next. I have him do 9 sets of 3. We rotate grips so that he does 3 sets wide, 3 sets medium, 3 sets close. I do this with a lot of my people. Everyone's used to that at this point. It's kind of a standard modality for my lifters, right? Unless they're purely closed grip benchers. And, you know, that's its own topic for me. I may just be sticking with mostly close grip again myself. So here's the problem I'm seeing here. His band pull-throughs, I can't get him to set the bands up the way that I want. So these are not looking the way that we want them to look, right? They're not looking the way I want them to look. So it's something that we need to work on. And again, it has to do with his rack setup isn't particularly good. He's trying to run a ton of bands, and I'm trying to teach him how to choke them around. So it's something I've been messaging him about this morning, trying to resolve. But I want to get him choking those bands and get further away, because again, that's really not ideal for the way that we want to perform a pull-through. And I'm almost at the point that we're soon I may tell him, look, you know, you got a commercial gym that's cheap and near you. Maybe you should go to the box gym. And we've talked about that before. And we might need to do that. Because again, this setup is going to be very, very limited. He's going to start getting into a problem where it's a safety issue. It's a lack of exercise variation issue. But the closed grip benching, that's what we do there. I have him incline bench. I have him incline bench on his speed bench day, right? And the reason I do that is the extra upper chest development, extra delt development, plus it's easier on recovery than us doing a traditional bench, and it gives us another angle. You know, because again, everything else is just benching, right? Everything else is just benching, unless I'm going to have him do some floor pressing. So this does give us a new angle to work from, because he doesn't have a good way to hook up bands. We don't have chains. We don't have specialty bars. We don't have a way to hit a lot of different angles outside of just changing grip width. So incline really can help us here. And since he can do it and it doesn't bother his shoulders, I throw in some incline there. So again, a little extra upper chest, extra delt development after the speed benching. All right, and then everything else we do is identical to max effort day. All right, same thing with the speed work. The accessories are exactly the same for him. So we come in and we do speed boxes. We do speed pulls. This phase, it's back to conventional. So I rotate sumo and conventional for him to give us some variation. And then we do our other supplemental leg lifts, which you guys saw earlier. That's pretty much what we do. It's very simple. This is just a novice conjugate setup. All right, guys, well, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.